Okay, hey, good morning, ninth graders. You ready for your math class, lesson 14 in your algebra book? Lesson 14 on page 462. You have today about the quadratic equation or the quadratic formula, and on page 462, it simply is telling you how you get to the point of finding the quadratic formula. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, you may read it if you wish, but the main thing is we want to find out is this is what we call the quadratic formula. And notice it looks complicated, but in a trinomial or any kind of equation like this, you have three terms, okay? Or actually there's four terms. This here is considered to be a. Remember, ax, the squared term is always considered the a. The x term is considered the b, and the constant is considered the c. So you know that in this quadratic formula, you have b's and a's and c's. So it's very easy. All you have to do is follow this pattern and replace the b's with the x term, replace the a with the x squared term, and replace the c with the constant. So I'm going to go example 1 on page 463. We're just going to go over this here so that you can see a little bit how to do this. And like I said, it looks complicated, but it really is not. You just have to make sure you stay organized and pay attention to all the negatives and positives and so on. So x equals, so let's draw this, and up here let's go that way. So it says negative b, okay? So it's going to be negative b. Well, the b term is negative already, so I'm going to put that in parentheses, negative 11. And in the square root here, we have b squared again. So in other words, it's negative 11 in parentheses squared, because b squared. And then you have minus 4 times a. Okay? A is 6. It's positive 6, so I'm just going to put in parentheses 6. And then times c. c is negative 2, so I'm going to put negative 2 and put that in parentheses. And then on the bottom you have 2 times a, so you're going to do 2 times a. A is this one. It's positive 6. So now I have substituted a, b's, and c's for all my terms, because this is a, this is b, and this is c. Remember the negatives. And so now all you need to do is actually multiply or solve. And so to rewrite this, negative 1 times negative 11, well, that makes positive 11. You understand? So it's very important you write this stuff out, that you have your negatives and positives. It's very, very important that you follow the script there. And then you have your radical sign. Now negative 11 squared. Well, 11 times 11 is 121, but being it's negative 11 times a negative 11, that's going to make now a positive 121. You followed that? Okay, so then you can come on through and you do, and I'm just going to take another step to what the example does, just to show you a little bit. Notice that we have a negative 4 times a positive 6. That makes negative 24 times a negative 2, so that makes a positive 48. So we actually have 121 plus 48. Are you following that? Two negatives, so you know your answer is going to be positive. 4 times 6 times 2 is 48. Two negatives, so that means your answer is going to be positive. So we have 121 plus 48. Now I'm going to erase this because I wanted to just write that out for you. I'm going to write that because 121 plus 48 is 169. And on the bottom you have 2 times 6, which is 12. Okay? So now, I forgot, almost forgot there's a positive negative here, my bad. So now, what is the square root of 169? It's 13, right? Okay. So now you have x equals 11 plus negative 13 over 12. And there's going to be two solutions for this because we have a positive and negative 13, because the square root of 169 can be a positive 13 or it can be a negative 13. So let's say it's positive 13. So we're going to go 11 plus 13, which is 24, divided by 12 is 2. Right? And if it's negative 13, so we go 11 minus 13, it makes negative 2. Right? divided by 12, that makes a negative 1/6. Because this is negative, this is positive. So x can equal 2 or a negative 1/6. Two solutions again. This is solving a quadratic using the quadratic formula. Again, it's another method that we can use. Go to example number 2. We'll go over that one as well. You have 5x squared. So let's just write it out. X equals okay. We know it's going to be negative b, so let's look at b. It's negative 7. So we go like this. Positive, negative. B squared. What is b? It's negative 7. So we have negative 7 squared. Minus 4 times, what's a? It's 5, right? So we put that in parentheses, multiply. And times the c. What's c? It's 1. Then on the bottom you have 2 times a. What's the a again? 5. So now you have substituted all your numbers. So let's do this again. Negative times negative makes a positive. So we know that we have a positive 7. Positive, negative, and 2 times 5 is 10. So let's figure this out. Negative 7 times negative 7 makes positive 49, right? I'm just going to write it. Well, I can write it here. We have one negative here, so all I have to do is multiply these numbers together. 4 times 5 is 20, times 1 is still 20, and it's going to be negative because there's only one negative here. Remember, one negative is always negative. So 49 minus 20 makes what? 29. Okay. Square root of 20. Oops, let's erase that a little bit better. So it's going to be square root of 29, positive, negative. Now that is no perfect square, and none of its factors of 20, there are no factors of 29 that is a perfect square either. So you can't do anything with that. There's absolutely nothing you can do. You can't reduce this, so you're stuck. That is your final answer. Okay? So I want you to pause the video, try to do number 1, and then once you have finished with number 1, restart the video, and let's see if you did it right, because I am going to do number 1 for you, and hopefully you'll get it right and there's no questions asked. So pause the video and let's start. So here's number 1. X equals negative b, so that's negative 2. Squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 1 and 2 times 3. And so when I solve that, oops, I think I went to the wrong. There we go. I was looking at the wrong answer. Okay, here we go. So what I have here is negative 2, positive, negative, square root 4, and this is 12, makes plus 12. 4 plus 12 is 16 over 6. Okay, and I know that square root of 16 is 4, so I'm going to say be like that. Okay, still with me? So x can equal a negative 2 plus 4, which is 2, over 6, which is 1/3. That's one answer. If it's a negative 4, so we go negative 2, negative 4, it's negative 6, over 6 makes negative 1. So those are your two answers, 1/3 and negative 1. If you came up with those answers, great job, you did it right. If you didn't, go back, watch the video again, and do it again. I'm going to let you do number 2. I'm not going to do it on the board, but I'm going to give you the answer just to make sure you're doing it right. For number 2, so pause the video and do it first. For number 2, your answer is x equals 2 and negative 9. The answer for number 3 is x equals 3 and 3/4. If you're getting those right, then that means you understand it and you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job with it. If you're getting them wrong, go back, rewatch the video, and try again. Hopefully that'll get you through for the day. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.